You're making music, for example, with Alan Watts, and then you got Jocko and David Goggins. How do you
Mm.
reconcile those two? Because that's something that I think is at least in my experience has been difficult. Because there's days where I'm like, let's go to the gym, let's go Akira, let's get some Goggins, let's get some music, get some, and then I'm being mean to myself, and I'm not
Mm.
not I think we need to be truthful, and I'm not saying don't say mean things, right? But the warrior, but also the the part of us that Christ, for example, said, "My yoke is easy," right? Because it's almost like, how do we be strong as a warrior, but in our mind we're in that flow, or in our heart we're in that flow, right? So we're flowing, but so how do we integrate those two parts, or anything that you would share on that in your journey?
Well, that's that kind of you answered your own question there, because that's how one does recognize those different, seemingly different schools of thought, because you do need that, as what's put it, fullness of the view, and that's why I choose the people I choose, because they represent these different uh, archetypal aspects. Goggins is this warrior monk. You know, uh, Jocko is this military commander type of a spirit. This kind of, he's Marcus Aurelius, whatever it is. The kind of thing that Jocko represents goes back to the dawn of humanity, as surely as does the spirit of the father, or the magician, or the wizard, or all these various archetypes. So all these people embody this aspect, and you need all of it. You need all of them. Watts has this thing which is almost like a bit of a trickster kind of thing in him. But he certainly reminds us of the playful nature of this reality, which is very, very necessary because people can go far too deep into the warrior or what have you, for example,
Yeah.
and can lose themselves. And everyone is different. Everyone has a different role to play. Everyone is made of different things. Everyone's ancestry, you see this in the issues we have with nutrition. There is no one size fits all, because some of us are descended from people who only ate bison, and you try giving motherfuckers like that a leaf, they will be ill. Trying to tell everybody they got to eat a leaf is stupid. But some motherfuckers just ate leaves. Some people were from that weird tribe of humans who would wander into a forest, and most of them would die because most of what they ate would kill them. But yet they kept going. I think about those people. They were crazy. And like most of what you eat that is not an animal in a forest, wherever on this earth it is, will kill you. It's poisonous. Those plant-eating motherfuckers were brave and crazy. You know what I mean? But some of us are descended from the plant-eating motherfuckers, and we're different. I'm not one of those. But
The greatest
everybody's
teacher is
different.
direct experience, right? You have to
Uh-huh.
try things out for yourself, and don't just follow.
Well,
Right?
it's this thing. So how do we progress? How do we learn from experience while simultaneously not having to repeat the mistakes of the past and those that preceded us? That's one of the interesting balances. So again, this is part of what we're doing. So, I do meaning wave in sort of seasons, or phases, or what have you. And there will be a subject or a theme. And I will choose a group of people who have a different vantage point on that theme. And they'll be talking about the same thing, whether it's freedom or discipline or awareness or consciousness or duty or whatever the idea is. And you'll have, Watts will be over there looking from that angle, and he's really looked from that angle very hard, and he's studied it, and he's gone to the Eastern traditions, and he's gone back thousands of years to look from this angle. Over there is Dr. Peterson, looking at this angle, staring at the same thing, but from this angle. You know what I mean? Wes Watson's over there. He was in jail for 15 years, looking at it from that angle. You know what I mean? And he's got that perspective. And between these bad motherfuckers, you're going to find something that resonates with you and works for you. And also, depending on the fucking day, it might be different. Some day you might need to draw more heavily from Watts than from Goggins.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. But all of these people are essentially saying the same thing, even though it seems to be completely the opposite sometimes. You'll realize after some years, there'll be a little light bulb moment, and you understand that.